Hi guys, James here at Miss Soul Car Finance. I'm sure this has just shocked a lot of yous, but no fees. I want to just explain, obviously things have moved on, with the Supreme Court case coming up or the decision on that coming up, and also the DCAs, etc. In the court, FC are saying, yeah, pretty much DCAs, going ahead. And we all know they're trying to do the hybrid deal and whatever, and try to get the customers to deal direct with the finance companies. So what we've got to do, things have changed, and everything has evolved, and if you don't move with the markets, then you'll be dead in the water. So Miss Soul Car Finance, I would say probably first to the market with this sort of train of thought and this mindset. Now, we've been doing this already. December, we've been running this, and really Miss Soul Car Finance still in the centre. You can still go to our solicitor and our solicitor's pack in-house. Everything's dealt in-house here, but really the hybrid deal is really going into Miss Soul Car Finance providing a solicitor's pack for the customer. The customer, if they're get enough information provided to them, then they can run the claim. We'll demonstrate it a wee bit of the experience that we've had in the past. But the solicitor's pack, £150, gives them all the information that they need, the same way as we would provide to the solicitor, and that would give them like maybe one car. I think the average car for solicitors is about one car. With ourselves, it's 3 cars once we've done all the searches. And again, money back guarantee. If they go for the solicitor's pack and they struggle a wee bit, then we can take them back into here and run them just as a standard customer at 28%. But Miss Soul Car Finance, this is the hybrid claims now. We've all got to admit things have changed and moved on, and I would suggest everybody has a wee look at their clients to see where they're at, because I think duplicates are going to be a huge issue as we keep highlighting. This was ourselves. We dealt with maybe 10,000 customers. Obviously, we dealt with hundreds of thousands of customers, but we had 10,000 which we had highlighted as being capable of doing the claims or whatever, and they told us they were 100% going to do the claims. This is a problem area, and I'm sure every solicitor knows it, every customer knows it. This is an area where you don't have all the information that you need, and 85% of the people that we dealt with actually never get out of that area because they just didn't have all the information to move forward. Now, bearing in mind, we've done 50,000 calls to finance companies for our customers, and with our customers patched into the call, and everybody be under no illusion they are not going to provide the right information. They will not reach out to you to pay. So, it's absolutely critical. We're doing this almost, for buttons. We're losing our 28%, but we just so much believe in that the customer gets that information, they can move forward. And the finance companies, if they deal direct with the customer, they will absolutely rip them off again and not highlight the claims. We've seen it firsthand. They lie to you, they hang up on you, they give you false information. Even with one of the companies, we were about 20 calls, and it was just ludicrous. But we saved all that information, put it through AI, and we've got all their stats and all the info for them as well. So really, once they get our information, they're really mid-claim, and from that point on, it's just information back and forth. They know their claim, what they paid. They know also the COVID scenario and all these sort of things. We'll look into all that for them as well. And literally, we say 75 to 80% just go through it, run their own claim, and that's fine. Now, if anybody wants to come back, they can come back to ourselves, the solicitor, and we will then run their claim as a standard claim, and they'll get their £100 back at the end of it. So if they paid £100 or £150 initially, when we get our fees in, we'll pay them that back. So it's a really win-win scenario for the customer, and I think it's the best, hybrid scenario we could think of. They say we've been running it since January this year, and it's all been working absolutely perfect. So just to demonstrate, from the customer's point of view, solicitors' fees, before July there, so many customers, hundreds of thousands of customers are signed up at 40%. Now, so technically on that car, one car, say £5,000 claim, 40% is 2,400. Our pack, the first, all the information is £150. And at that point, if we get a second and third car, whatever, it's £100 per car, and we'll prepare the pack for every car. So it's your perfect claim, And you've always got that security. It's ourselves you're dealing with. Everything's in-house here. Our marketing's in-house, the processing's in-house, our legal is in-house. So at any day, and I am based in-house, so we are based in this office as well. So anything at all, we are on top of it every day. And we're in 6 days a week, so we're always working, and then we'll have our cover for the Sundays as well. So just moving on to the next one here. The second one would really be solicitors. The majority, we know that a lot of the solicitors will just use marketing companies. They've went out and got one deal or one client, and that's it, and they're all sitting dormant. Customers are thinking solicitors are dealing with all their cars, and right now they're probably not. So at one claim at 5,000, 2,006 out, pay out to client. So that's great, but with our process, first car at 5,000, £150 pack, we provide all the information, and the customer gets 4,850. So it's a saving £2,250. And we just feel that this attracts the clients who are serious about their claims. You know, they're confident enough, they're not going around signing up for every other solicitor and causing everyday problems and hassles and whatever. We want like the serious customer who wants to come in and make sure their claim's taken care of and they're getting every car that they're due to get paid out for. So the solicitors say average one car, £5,000 claim, 2,000 again. So the savings are substantial. With us, you're getting an average of 3 cars. So we're the solicitors, and you know, the best thing, anybody that doesn't believe this, go and speak to our solicitor and ask them how many cars they're dealing with, ask them what information they've got on it, and I can guarantee what they've been doing is hustling to get the lead generator, get the client in, and that's it. They're probably parked up somewhere. There's 2 or 3 that I know that are probably a wee bit sharper, but not the majority. Our process, we find an average of 3 cars. We go through 3 different checking systems and also our own system that we built for the last 10 years. And that's a National Vehicle Database, Motoring Finance Database. Huge, and we've got all that information. So this is where we start finding other deals, because there's manufacturers, sites and various other bits that we can go into to start getting a wee trail on something or some sort of feed. So huge saving. You know, it's an absolute no-brainer. If you're going to get 3 cars, you're going to get an extra, you know, £12,500 in your pocket. And we're always there as the backup for you. You know, if you ever want to say, right, okay, this is getting too heavy, I want yourselves to take over. Example of claim values, if claims not identified correctly. So the one car is 5,000. We have customers who have 15, 20 cars, and we know that there's other customers that are sitting in solicitors and various other places, claims companies and everything else, with maybe 4 or 5 cars, and they're only getting 1 that's getting processed just now. It's really going to be a bit like PPI. It's going to, if we don't act now and get on top of it, it's going to be a bit of a disaster and quite messy for the customer, very messy for the solicitor, and a horrendous nightmare for the funders because they've spent so much money and they're not going to get their returns on it. So this is all the numbers. It's just important. You know, we do like average claim value in Missile Car Finance. You know, we do full, forensic checks on it. We go through all our databases, etc., and make a huge difference. So say even in 20 cars, you know, you're beginning to look at, you know, 108,000. So it's worth tracking all the cars, and we'll do everything we can. So again, with solicitors and stuff that we've passed over, a lot of them internally reject up to sometimes 40%. That can be just on the case criteria, low value, duplicates, and sometimes the funding criteria. Regards to addresses and stuff like that, now we know for a fact they might do a check on it, but if the details are wrong, we've had, you know, thousands back before where it's just not the right address or whatever, and we have to redo checks, etc., and get all that information. And the solicitors that we are aware of that we've worked with just don't do that. They're just too busy getting the new work in and fresh feeds in and whatever it be. They're not working the cases to that detail. Our process is 100%. We test, we analyse, we do the forensics on it to make sure we get every bit. We treat this as if it's friend or family, whatever, that we're doing their claim, and what details would they be looking for, you know, to get them making a full claim. So what do you get when you get a solicitor's pack? That's the burning question, and see the value for money and where it puts them in that timeline, you know, the claim straight to 50% straight away with all the information they've got. All the information required to do the claim, and we know this because we've been providing it ourselves to all the solicitors, and we've also been running our own claims ourselves, so we know exactly what's needed. And bearing in mind as well, myself, 35 years experience in the motor trade, and you know, a car dealer, worked with all the finance companies and everything else, so there's probably nobody better positioned to understand all these other areas. So the finance company agreement numbers, missed payments, the vehicle details, pack containing all the vehicle and finance companies to be claimed for, estimated value of each individual claim. Now we've got tables. We're dealing with most of the authorities all the time, and we're up to speed with, you know, current conversations and what the potentials are. So the estimated value, we'll also do like a FOS ruling for each claim that you have, the DCAs, the hidden commissions. We'll give you the FOS rulings, we'll give you all the legal rulings as well, so that you've just got that as a backdrop to understand how the claim came about, and it's very interesting. And you know, some people will just say, that's fine, that's all the information I need, I can go and now run my claim because I've got that information and background to it. All the various media articles, so we'll keep you up to date. So if something happens here, it's Black Horse or whatever, something's changing, we'll notify you and you'll know exactly where you're at if you've got a Black Horse claim. Notifications of main developments, general market overview, you know, whatever's going on with the government, with the finance companies, etc., with the stock exchange, all that stuff. So regular emails and updates, you know, sort of what the finance companies are doing and exactly who we're claiming against. So that's us. A big shock to a lot of people, but you've got to, you know, understand market's changing and it's time for the hybrid permanently for us. We've been using it since December or, you know, January this year. We've not really discussed it with a lot of people. Not a lot of people knew about that, but I think this is the time. So if you're interested, whether it be for your solicitors or whether it be for yourself or, you know, for a funder or whatever it be, have a look at this. We'd love to talk to you, and we'd love you to maybe reach out to us. So just reach out to us in a normal way on LinkedIn or through our social medias, Facebook and Instagram, etc.